Okay, so I'm going to go prepare for our next stream sometime next week. I know you're not going to come to Romania because you're full of shit. If there's one thing I would use to describe you, it's full of shit. All you do is lie. Every word out of your mouth is shit. Nothing you say is important. You don't stand on your word. You have no honor as a man. So we know you're not going to come here. So I'll prepare for the stream, and we'll have to do it remotely, where I get to educate you and all of the viewers at home about how money works, how democracy works, and it's going to be very interesting because it will tie back into what I said earlier, that the entire world is violence. Do you know what's currently backing the American dollar?
The war.
Wars in general. America has the biggest army, and if you don't use the dollar, they'll blow you up.
Correct.
So all the papers and sanctions and global reserve currency, all this comes down to we have more guns than you.
Correct.
That's how the whole world works. So we're going to do a big presentation tying down everything to violence. And then once you understand that, you have to ask yourself why you do not become good at violence if it's the universal constant of humanity, and it's perhaps the most important factor, the most important thing that exists between the species. Why are you not capable in violence? Why would you go through life being a little weakling if you understand that violence is everything? Yes, and then you'll have to answer that as you eat your, what is that, couscous? Something gay. What is that?
Chicken and rice. How's that gay? Please tell me how that's gay.
No, chicken and rice is not gay, but you've made it look gay. It's fruity somehow. That's the gayest chicken and rice I've ever seen.
Come on, dude.
That's the gayest chicken and rice I have ever seen.
I just ordered it and did it on... Come on, dude.
Rainbow all over it.
Well, if I came out of the closet, would you f*** with me?
You know what?
I'm not gay. I'm trolling.
It's up for discussion, but what's interesting is this. It's not so much about being gay or straight. It's about being a degenerate person or not. If you're gay and you live a normal life, then I have a lot less problem with you. But if you're gay and think that means it's okay to go wave your dick in children's faces and walk around naked, that's what confuses me. Because a straight person can't do that. Because it's degenerate behavior. Why, if your sexuality changes, must you act degenerately? Why can't you act like an adult and understand that your sexuality is not the most important defining factor of who you are, and it shouldn't be everything that anyone who interacts with you understands? Why can't you just be gay without flashing your balls to kids?
I was arguing that kids need to be protected, and I was arguing that had an argument like a week ago. Me and academics, I don't know if you know who that is, but it was me, academics, XQC, and we were talking about shit like that, and I just basically said like it's not cool, like that Target, for example, has a kid section with like on it, but get like the LGBTQ flags for in the kids section.
Kids.
What'd you say?
Why do you think they're trying to promote this to children?
The children of the future.
That's right. The children are susceptible.
They have sponge brains.
If you have a stupid idea, do you want to try and convince an adult or a child?
A child.
That's right. And you can go deeper. Why do you think the gay agenda is promoted in general in the West? Because they're trying to depopulate, because you can't have children if you do gay, right?
Correct, sir.
So why do you think they're trying to depopulate the Western nations? And when I say depopulate, I mean depopulate amongst the natives, because they import third worlders to replace you. But they want to reduce the birth rates of the natives, and they want to import people who don't buy this.
It's overpopulation. It's population control.
Why are they? No, but it's not even just about overpopulation. They're trying to replace the populations. Why are they trying to replace the populations of Western nations?
Control.
How does that give them more control?
Because if they replace it with what they want, and if they can push certain agendas, and they can kind of basically make the brain be programmed to thinking some type of way, it's all about control.
Well, it is all about control. You're right about that point. And this is going to be part of our presentation because it all ties into money, right? If they can make a whole bunch of money by replacing the population, why wouldn't they? They don't care. If you can make money off a meme coin, you don't give a shit about selling it and dumping on everyone else because you've made your money. So if you're a globalist and you can live anywhere in the world and you have 15 passports and you have houses all over the planet, if you can destroy said populace inside of a certain geographical area for benefit, you have no reason not to do that. And there's a lot of benefit economically for the people who are in charge of the world to have a whole bunch of third worlders who will work for nothing, who don't care about healthcare and pensions and all these other garbage things that the native populace wants. So they're on a mission to destroy said geographical areas to forever profit. And they don't give a shit because they're not going to stay there. Only jackasses like you will stay there. Everyone else will leave. Everyone else with money anyway.
I'm going to leave. You think I'm going to be in Miami for the rest of my life, bro? I'm going to get about here in a couple of years max.
Where?
With land. I'm going to go land so I can build what I want and I can do what I want. And what I mean, land is the closest thing you get to being free.
You're gonna buy land, right?
It's the goal.
Okay, and what if the government says we're taking that land off you? What are you gonna do?
Try to have some land that nobody knows about.
Because if you don't have guns to protect it, and you'll never have more guns than the government, then you don't really own it, do you?
Correct.
You don't own anything in this world besides your soul, Aiden. You don't own the house you're in. You don't own the car you drive. If they want to take it off you, they can. And they will.
I know it happened to you, and I'm sorry it did happen to you.
Doesn't matter. I knew it was going to happen. And it'll happen to everybody who speaks the truth in the end. And all the native populations are being replaced because of how money works, which is why I was trying to talk about it with you on the last stream, so you understood how all of these things are interconnected and how interesting it is. And the only weapon against it is sunlight. Sunlight disinfects. God's truth is light.
So what about cryptocurrency? Because cryptocurrency is owned, like you kind of have control with cryptocurrency.
Well, there's a strong argument of why Bitcoin can save the world, because if you fix the money, you fix the world, which is why you have to understand how the money works, because the money is the reason all the wars happen. A lot of the other cryptos are just meme coin. But
Correct.
Bitcoin perhaps will be the revolutionary technology that's required to prevent governments from printing themselves into forever wars. Because every single war is a banker's war, Aiden. Every single war that you can name was done because of the elite's interests. And the poor people go die so the elites can make money. Every single war has always been the same. That's why they keep printing billions and billions of new dollars for war, but they don't have money to fix anything inside of their own nations. Because it's actually very interesting. You probably think a lot of politicians are dumb, or you don't understand why they make the decisions they make, because you believe they care about you and you believe they work for you. So when you look at a politician make a decision, you're like, wow, this person's an idiot. He's not an idiot.
He's being
smart
controlled.
enough. He's smart enough to fool you into thinking he gives a shit about you. His job is not to appease you. His job is to work for the people who he's a part of, the elites. He has his own nation, his own state, and it's nothing to do with what you think his passport is. There's a reason why these people get elected and do whatever the f they want. They don't give a shit about you, and you're a fool if you think they do, because they don't. And all of their decisions will make sense once you understand that they don't work for you, and they don't represent you, and they never will. And if you find a politician who actually tries to represent the people, they drag him through court with lawfare and try and destroy him. And if you find somebody who tells these truths, like me, they drag him through court and they try and destroy him because they use the legal system as a weapon. Because once again, that's not fair and that's not real. That is, again, just violence and pieces of paper, like everything else on this planet, Aiden. Damn. You have a lot to learn. I'm going to prepare a very compendious, very compelling, very exciting presentation. And we're going to talk about it on stream. It's going to be great. Okay. And then, after the stream, you can do a whole breakdown with all those other nerds that you talk to that I don't want to talk to. Do you and XQC and whoever else can all sit around and debate it.
Right. Well, it's not bad being a nerd. It's okay.
Well,
if you want to say me and XQC are nerds, then we're nerds. I f with XQC. He's a good dude.
Hey, I have nothing against him. I mean, he was wrong on a bunch of shit when we last spoke, but I've actually seen it. I've actually seen clips of him saying fairly intelligent things as of late. Maybe reality's starting to register.
He's a good dude.
Because all of these liberal ideals, all of these idealistic notions come from a very safe place. You can't believe unless you're living a very sheltered, safe life. And as the world gets more difficult and more dangerous, people are going to realize everything I've ever said is right. Gender roles become instantly correct in difficult scenarios, as do the realities of the world, like violence. As things collapse and get more difficult, women are going to be women and men are going to be men, and everyone's going to get into the real world very quickly, because anyone who doesn't is not going to survive. All of this idealistic is based on being paid millions and millions of dollars to play video games. If you live in the real world, you'll understand. So perhaps things are getting more difficult for the entire planet. I believe they are.
Can I ask you a question? So since you obviously like to say it's to me too, do you also feel the same way about NBA, NFL, basically any type of entertainment at all that's getting paid millions of dollars, basically to? Do you feel the same way?
No, because they have to go through at least physical exertion. They have to dedicate themselves. And
okay. All right. Actors that act in movies.
Scripts.
What?
They have to memorize a script.
Okay, but
I mean, to agree, there's an element of talent.
I'm just saying, you just loved it.
Nathan, to be fair, as a professional, I cannot say you have no talent at all, because you are where you are. So you must have some talent. It's just very hard to spot.
All right, I'll take that.
But you are where you are, so you must be good at something.
I'll take it, man. And you are where you are today because you must be good at something too. I appreciate it.
I'm a lot of things, but yeah, you're right. But you need to self-analyze. That's one of the most important things you can do is feedback and self-analyze and realize how you got where you did. And then you can learn from it and you can improve yourself. And you can grow from there. But I think that the next stage of your journey is me educating you on how the world works, and by extension, we educate millions of people, and perhaps we can save the world, Aiden. Because you don't own that house, you don't own that car, you don't own anything but your soul, and at least on your deathbed, you can know you educated millions and millions of young men as to the realities of how brutally unfair this world is, and how dangerous it's going to become for men to exist in any form of masculine state, because they're on a mission to try and remove all of masculinity from society, because we're the protectors of society, and they want to inject slave programming. Perhaps you and I can work together to save the world. Wouldn't that be a noble cause?
Yes, sir.
Great. So I'm going to prepare my stream, and I'm going to message you when it's ready. And we're going to do it. It's going to be long, and we're going to promote it, and everyone's going to watch, and we're going to save the planet. No more gay chicken and rice. Eat normal chicken.
It's literally it's regular chicken and rice. And chat, I've been eating this for